Hi, my name is Beth Hiley for BoardGameGeek. We're here at Essen 2011. I'm here with my very good friend and neighbor back in Chicago, Scott Tepper.
Hi.
And we got Eric W. Martin sitting in again.
The Eric.
The Eric. So I'm going to give everyone a warning right now that I'm starting to get to know Eric. I know Scott very well. We're all pretty tired even though it's Thursday, so this is going to be a really interesting review of Nefarious, the mad scientist game.
Yes. Oh, that's a perfect introduction.
You're welcome.
I bet you could demo this. I think you have.
I think I have today, a couple times actually. So, but in deference to the publisher, I will let you demo.
Oh, thank you. In Nefarious, you are a mad. Should I look at you?
Whatever pleases you best.
In Nefarious, you're a mad scientist building fantastic and well, you don't know either. So I can. I usually demo to the people who haven't played the game.
Well, then teach Eric. He is the ignorant.
I did. Is that the feat of an ignorant person? Okay.
Maybe. I'm not one who judges people, so.
That's right.
In Nefarious, you're a mad scientist building fantastic and evil inventions. The player that builds the most and most evil inventions wins the game.
Okay.
But these inventions are expensive.
And rules the world.
And rule the world. Yeah, correct. That's why there's a world here. Take over the world. But these inventions are expensive. So to build them, you're going to have to gain some money by working, doing research, and even investing in the mad scientist market to gain the money to help you build them.
Okay.
More specifically, we're going to be building these inventions. The game comes with 64 different invention cards. They each have a value between 1 and 8 victory points. The player who first builds 20 or more points worth of inventions and has more points than the other players wins the game. Okay. At the beginning of the game, the players are going to start. Are you arranging my piles? I have some of them set specifically so that I don't have to search for them.
Don't touch
exactly.
We're going to ban you to the off-camera.
I'm trying to make sure they're on camera.
Oh, thank you. At the beginning of the game, the players start with 10 bags of money.
Okay.
A lair, so each of you have your lair, 10 bags of money, 5 minions, which you're going to put next to your lair. Okay, this is your reserve, your minion reserve. You'll also get 4 action cards. So you have 4 already, and I gave you 4, and I have 4.
Okay. In our player colors.
In your player colors. Now, the actions are actually the same for all the players, but the backs are different colors for the different players. Now, the game does play between 2 and 6 players. There's a slight rule variation for 2 players, but it plays exactly the same for between 3 and 6 players. Okay. You also will start with 3 random invention cards.
Thank you.
Okay. And at the beginning of the game, we're going to draw 2 twist cards. There's a pile of 36 twist cards. We draw 2 and turn them face up. I'm going to come back to these in a little bit.
So they're facing
me, but then nobody else can see it because they're upside down.
There's an overhead
camera.
To you.
Look at that! I didn't know that.
You are the most important person at the
I didn't know that. Okay, so I'll come back to these in a little bit.
Okay.
The game is played over several rounds. Each round, I'll still come back to it because it's a demo thing. I usually just go so I'll come back to it. Each round has the same 4 phases. Okay. In the first phase, we're going to choose an action, lay it down above our player board, and then reveal it simultaneously. So just randomly choose one. Very good. You know, it's funny and play it down randomly. Now, can I do a quick side? I'll still make this under the time. It's very funny because we're demoing this, and there's some people who are like, even in the demo, I said just choose one randomly, and they're like, I'm like, we'll just put one down. So just put one down, and then we reveal it. I guess I shouldn't say that, but I get, okay. Anyway, then we reveal them simultaneously. But for example, since you did that, I will choose this one instead. Okay? So that's the first, we're already done with the first phase, which is choose an action card, play it face down, and reveal it. Now we're on the second phase, where our minions pay out. At the beginning of the game, none of our minions are in our lair, but during the game, probably later on in the game, you will probably have some minions here. Okay? So let's just say later on in the game, this is where I have some of my minions. In this phase, when minions pay out, you receive 1 bag of money from the supply for each minion that matches the action that's played by one of your immediate neighbors. Okay? So for instance, I have one on invent, in the invest investment area and 2 in speculate. Beth played in invent. I have 1 in the invent area, so I get
his immediate neighbor.
Your immediate neighbor.
In the game and in real life, just about.
Funny how art imitates life. So in this case, I would get. Oh, she liked that. Does she laugh at stuff very often? No. Or is she laughing at something else?
Well, the Fragor guy's got us all
Okay.
wound up.
Yeah, that's right.
So in this case, I would get 1 bag of money from the supply. Now your card doesn't match any of my where I have my minions, so I don't get anything.
I set up a mock red player over here who is not to Scott's
Right.
immediate neighbor. So even though this is an action where he has minions assigned to, this player's too far away.
Right.
That's right. And even though I played speculate, I don't get anything from that either. I only receive money as a result of my immediate neighbors, their actions that they take.
Okay.
Okay, at least in the standard game. Now let's say instead I had 2 minions, I had 1 on work and 2 on research. You played research, I have 2 minions there. I would get 2 bags of money from the supply. If I had 1 on invent and 2 on research, I get 1 because of Beth and 2 because of you.
Okay.
If you both played research, then I would get 4 bags of money, 2 because of you, 2 because of you.
Okay.
You got that?
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
Minions pay out.
Minions pay out, second phase. Third phase, we resolve the actions in this order, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the players who played speculate take their turn first, then the players who played invent take their turn, then the players who played research take their turn, then the players who played work take their turn. Speculate means that I move 1 of my minions, let's take them all off, I move 1 of my minions from my reserve into 1 of my investment areas, and I pay the cost for it. If I put it into work, it costs 1 bag of money, and that's the symbol down here.
Right.
If I put it into
Also
research,
on your card.
it costs 1 bag of money. Yes, it's explained there as well. That was a decision of whether we were going to put that in there or not. Didn't really need to, well, but it's helpful. To go into invent costs me 2 bags of money. If I put it into speculate, it's free.
Okay.
So that's what speculate is. And I can only do that with 1 minion with speculate. I cannot use this card to move a minion that's already in my lair, only to go from my reserve on into my lair. Okay, so that's speculate.
Invent?
Invent.
Yes, and I chose invent.
She chose invent. With invent, I build 1 of my inventions. So 1 of the invention cards, now when they're in my hand, they're only blueprints. Okay? When I build it, it becomes an invention. To build it, I put it above my lair, and I pay the price in the upper left-hand corner. So Eric, in your experience as a game player, wide experience, what do you think I have to pay to build a moon base?
31.
Did she laugh? You got to chuckle. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get your laugh.
It's a tough crowd.
Hey, M.
What?
M.
M?
No? Is that not a denomination?
Okay, it's man muss 13 Säcke Geld bezahlen.
Ah, yeah, okay.
I can do this all in German.
Yes.
Okay.
And French.
And now, when I build an invention, some of them have effects. For example, should I do it this facing me?
Yes,
For everybody?
you should
Okay.
be able to read it.
If I build ozone depleter, it has no effect. If I build a wormhole, it has 1 effect. If I build anti-gravity suit, it has 2 effects.
Okay.
If there's a green arrow, that means the effect affects me. If it has red arrows that point away from me, it means it affects all the other players.
Okay.
Except you.
Except me. All the other players.
Yes. Oh,
except me. Now, the effects, if there's a plus, that means the recipient gains something. If there's a minus, the recipient loses something. And the things you can gain or lose are money, bags of money,
Cards.
invention cards, or minions.
Okay.
Now, for example, if I built Wormhole, I lose 1 invention card from my hand, I lose 1 bag of money to the supply, and I lose a minion. So if I lose an invention card, I just take 1 from my hand and discard it to the discard pile.
Building the wormhole, all that stuff gets sucked into it.
If I lose money, I have to lose 1 bag of money to the supply. And with a minion, if I lose a minion, I just take 1 that's from my board, and it goes back into my reserve.
That's right. They're plentiful.
If this said gain a minion, I would put 1 from my supply onto my lair in one of these investment areas for free. I would not have to pay the investment cost that I normally have to pay and speculate. Okay? Now, if, there's some other, I was like, I had these set aside. Some of the invention cards have slashes. Oops, sorry, towards me again. A slash means that I get something for something. And you may also see this symbol, which if you notice, Eric, which is really cool, I think, so you notice the back of all the invention cards are blueprints. So it's in your hand, it's just a blueprint, a plan. When you build it, this represents, what do you think that represents?
A finished project.
Excellent.
Yes.
A built invention. Okay. So this card, well, let's go over here.
I
this
like
card,
the patronizing tone. Really.
I really wasn't trying to
directly.
I swear it's just
I hope you
because
use that
my
with all your demos. it probably really attracts people. You want to learn my game too? Whatever. Come on.
I swear, I want you to learn the game.
Okay. Yes.
So, for example, this whenever you see a slash, it means I get something for something else.
Okay.
So here I get 1 bag of money per invention card that I have in my hand. Whereas here, I get one invention card for every built invention that I have.
Yes.
So if I have some that are, say, these were built already, including this card, I've just built it. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I would get, if I just built this, I would get 4 invention cards from the.
And since you have a nice display here, how many artists did you contact?
Well, that's very funny. There's
these
64 different. I'm so glad you asked about it. There's 64 different invention cards. We used 18 different artists to do the artwork. So you'll see all different sort of styles. The idea here was that there's all different kinds of mad scientists. So they're represented in all different ways. Men, women, young, old, all throughout the game.
Human, not so human.
Human, not so human, exactly. Some with a sense of humor, which you might see here, like in X-ray specs. Can you see what he's saying?
Yes. He doesn't have a clue, does he? He's on the nude beach for the X-ray specs.
He's a mad scientist. He's more interested in her bones. That's what he's happy about.
That's right.
Okay. If more than one player builds an invention that affects the other players.
So we'll say I built one and Scott built one.
Let's say, actually, I'm going to say that Eric built this one. Eric built anti-gravity suit, and Beth built Super Android. If there are more than one invention that affects me or affects the other players, they resolve them clockwise from themselves.
Okay.
So, for example, when you build anti-gravity suits, you would lose 4 bags of money, and then all the other players would lose a card.
Right.
When Beth builds Super Android, all the other players gain a card. So, for example, for me, I go clockwise. I didn't build this round. I go over here clockwise. I have to discard a card. So discard pile. Go clockwise to Beth. Now I draw a card.
Okay.
Now for this player over here, first they draw a card and then discard a card.
Okay.
Right, so they come to me first and then loop around to you.
So the effects affect different players differently.
Okay.
And you're kind of in charge of figuring out your own order, so it's different for everybody.
You're responsible for resolving the effects that affect you.
You are responsible for assigning your own negative effects.
Your own destiny.
Okay.
When you build an invention, we first resolve all the effects, then we put it next to your board. All the effects only happen once.
Okay.
And then they're resolved for the game. They don't continue on. Okay. Action 3 is research. When I play research, I gain 2 bags of money from the supply.
Little research funds.
Yep. And I draw a invention card from the supply, from the draw pile. And when I play work, I gain 4 coins. 4 bags of money from the supply. They're not coins, they are bags of money, because if I'm building a helpful robot, it's going to cost me 6 bags of money, not 6 coins to do something. They're expensive to build these evil inventions.
Robots.
Okay. So once we've gone through
once we resolve these, and we resolve them all simultaneously, so all the players that played work resolve work at the same time.
Okay.
Okay? After we resolve all the actions, we then check to see if someone has won. If somebody has 20 or more points and they have more points than any other player, they win.
And
if not,
which might be hard to see on the camera, there is actually 20 plus equals the world on each of the player mats here. So just to remind you what the prize really is.
So if there's a tie for the most over 20 points, we just continue playing. Okay?
There can be no tie.
There can be no tie. So that's actually everything except for the twist cards. As I described it, it's a good game. It really is a good game, just like this. But what really makes it a great game?
Super simple, but there's a lot of.
There's strategy about when if you're going to speculate, where you speculate, because you have to think about what your neighbors are doing. And there's strategy in which cards you play when, because strategically, if you have to do something and you don't have enough to do it, you just do what you can. For example, if you have to pay 4 bags of money and you only have 1, you just spend that 1. So there's a little strategy of when you build these cards. I'd rather do that when I have like I spent all my money so that I don't have to lose any more, as opposed to if I do that early on. There's strategy there, but this is what really makes the game. The game comes with 36 different twist cards, and every game at the beginning we shuffle them up and randomly draw 2. The twist cards change the rules of the game. Some make the game easier, some make it harder. But with 36 different cards, choosing 2 out of them, there'll be more than 600 different combinations. And really the strategy, the feel of the game changes every time you play it with these. So for example, I've turned up here, propaganda. Inventions are each worth +1 victory point. So if I built these already, be 12, 13, this would be with 15 victory points. Age of boredom, you can't play the same action card 2 rounds in a row, so that'll make it a little bit more challenging. You leave out the previous action card to keep track of what it is.
Like Gonzaga.
And
so
they
really,
can just drastically change the game. And
yeah,
as we
it really
produces
makes
more money.
Well, I don't have to go through them all because we have 2 minutes left.
Yeah, so, but that's actually pretty much it. These really will change the feel, so that you really have to change you can't come in with the same strategy every game. You really have to think differently. That's played it, haven't you?
Yes, and that it's funny because the very first time we played this at your house, we used no twists because we were just learning the game, and we're like, oh, I completely agree with you. We all said, oh, this is a good game, and then we added in the twist, and that's the bit that makes it addictive. Because as soon as you feel like you got your feet under you, the twist changed it all over again.
You mentioned at one point that that's how it is in the beginning game or starting game. Is that
well, that's
without the twist?
Without the twist. We have the twist,
and
these things the rules will change.
That expert players like you will use.
And Beth actually is a very good player.
The time.
Except when I'm demoing, I never win games that I teach myself. We found like games could be anywhere from like 10 minutes if you were really snappy to 20 to 25 if you were moseying along a bit more.
And for those people, here's a little hint. If you guys didn't think to do it, there's one card called Buttered Cat Array. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's the top search, and it's the top search result if you do Buttered Cat Array. And that's the game.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for
My
stopping
pleasure,
by.
Bob.
I know I get a hug.
You do get a hug.
I look forward to when you actually have copies.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
and Eric, thanks for tagging along again.
Thanks, Eric.
You were a good foil for us.
Always a pleasure. Look, we made it in under time.
I know we haven't hit the bomb clock.
That's because no one started the time, and then Lincoln fixed it initially.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Yay, Lincoln.
Well, thank you very much, Beth, for hosting me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Bye.